to another episode of the Owl Pod. I'm your host, David Litfin. Alongside me, my beloved co-host,
Amelia Wright. And I apologize if that maybe hurt your ears if you had headphones in.
or you didn't know what we were saying.
Yeah, me and David we're bringing the energy today. We haven't recorded in a couple weeks.
It's been 2 weeks. I know you missed us last week. We're back, though.
Yeah, and we're happy to be back, yeah.
And this is a very special episode because obviously we started the episode in an entirely different language. That's because by the name of this episode, you have seen that we have a special guest today. Last time we recorded, we didn't have a guest.
Yeah.
It's been a couple weeks since we've had someone on the pod, but we have a very special guest, my teammate, my roommate, and my Italian friend, Francesco Candiani, who's going to be talking to us about his journey to Temple and his recent promotion as Global Owls president. If you don't know what Global Owls is, you will find out later on in this episode.
You'll learn more.
But before we get into our interview with Francesco, we'll do what we always do, and we'll hit a little recap of the last, 10 days in Temple athletics?
Around that, yeah.
Roughly 10 days. You want to kick it off with Temple women's basketball, who got some sun last week, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm a little bit jealous of both our basketball teams. They had some fun trips this past weekend over Thanksgiving break. Women's basketball went down to the Bahamas. What a better place to go. They took a win against Western Carolina. They beat them 84-64. That was a really impressive dub there. And I taught David, and I hope to teach all of you, Western Carolina is the Catamounts. Random poll.
Catamounts. I mean, you know those people that can name, every single, mascot, not mascot, but, where the Owls, they're the Catamounts. They can do that for every Division I team. It's pretty impressive. I have a friend that can do that.
Oh, I thought you were going to compliment me and say that was me.
No, I don't think you can do that. I think you just know that because it's close to where you grew up. But
okay,
there are some pretty random colleges.
Yeah, there is. But shout out, during that game, Kayla Turner, she earned American Conference honorable mention. She had 23 points in that game. That's a huge takeaway. And in that tournament down in the Bahamas, they also played 20th ranked Michigan State. They lost to them, but I think the Owls overall had a pretty good weekend.
Yeah, I think it's always good when you leave the tournament on a win because they played Michigan State in the first game. That was obviously a hard game to play, ranked team. But then they get to leave on a win, which I know this from experience. Getting on a plane after a win is much more enjoyable than getting on after a loss. So hopefully they can take that momentum coming back to the area where tell us who they got this week. I believe they're
another Big Five matchup. They're playing Drexel on Sunday, December 7th, 2:15. This is at Drexel, which I
think the game's at Villanova.
Oh yes.
Because the Big Five
doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
The pavilion, right?
The game is played at Villanova against Drexel.
Yeah, but there's something that I found out. The Temple Owls, the women's basketball team, they're 3-0 at home. When they're away, they're 0-3. So this is a big test. Can they perform when they're away?
Yeah. They're comfortable at home, but they got to get a little bit more comfortable on the road.
Yeah, for sure.
And they'll look to do that. Let's talk men's hoops while we're on the subject. They also went on a little bit of a trip over Thanksgiving break. Instead of going to the Bahamas, they went to the Sunshine State and played down in Disney. Played 3 games, started off against UC San Diego, took a tough loss, came back against Princeton and won in a close game.
They beat the Nerds. As my dad always says.
Beat the Nerds. Or the Tigers. I kind of like Nerds better.
Yeah, it's a little bit more demeaning.
Yeah. Beat the Nerds. That might get cut, honestly, from this. And they ended the tournament playing Rhode Island, and they took another loss.
The Rams.
So I know being close enough to that program that was not the result they wanted going down there. And obviously they played a couple other mid-major schools, it's fair to say, and I think they would have liked to have a better result down there. And they came back this week. We're actually recording on a Wednesday. Usually we record on a Monday, so we can talk about some action that already happened this week. On Monday, they took on Villanova, and they lost in their Big Five game that would have sent them to the championship. Now they still have something to play for on Saturday, which is December 6th. Well, they'll take on the St. Joe's Hawks.
That's for third place.
For third place at the Wells Fargo Center. That game tips off at 4:30 p.m. So trying to get, above 500. I think they sit at 4-4 right now. So hopefully the Owls can, get back on track on Saturday, taking on another Big Five opponent.
And we don't like St. Joe's, as we've made very evident on this podcast.
We do not like St. Joe's. And I have a feeling we'll get into more of that. I think we've maybe foreshadowed a little bit, but we'll get more into that in the spring as to why we don't exactly like St. Joe's.
Oh, once we get into lacrosse season
Once
more.
it's lacrosse season, I think we'll open Pandora's box, perhaps.
We'll see. I don't know about that.
Okay. Well, let's move on to football because we know we were really excited about football a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Things were looking up, and
then they faced some tough battles for sure.
We hinted at it, a couple months ago. That they were going to have a hard time coming home down the home stretch, and they did. I think since the last time we talked, they took on Tulane at home. And that was a tough game for the Owls. Took a pretty hefty loss at home in their final home game. And we knew it was going to be hard traveling to North Texas, who feels like they score 50 points with their eyes closed every game. And it was no different. Temple lost 52-25. Ended the season with a 5-7 record, which is certainly improvement. If you look the last previous years, couldn't give above 3 wins. They were at 5 wins about halfway through the season. You thought, could the bowl game be a potential? And they just couldn't get it done against some of the better teams in the conference, which was disappointing. But I think looking at the season, plenty of positives to be taken away.
For sure.
They definitely made improvement. I feel like on and off the field, they were just a better run program, which is important. But obviously, they left you a little something to be desired at one point, being 5-3, and it looked like they had a chance, between the Navy game, the Army game, to have a bowl game.
Those are the heartbreakers for sure.
Those are the tough ones, and you kind of had a feeling after that Army game it was going to be hard to run the table and get into a really competitive bowl game. But nonetheless, I think they have something to be proud of, and it came out this past weekend. 5 players were named to the conference awards.
Which I think is probably the most, at least in recent years, probably in the last 5 years.
Certainly, and let's give a couple shout-outs here. Peter Clark named to the second team as a tight end. Cameron Stewart, second team as an outside linebacker. Jojo Bermudez, second team return specialist. Ben, I'm going to butcher this last name, so apologies to Ben. Ben Osuke?
I think he's a cornerback, I believe.
Cornerback named to the third team, and Curly Ordonez was an honorable mention. So shout out to those guys. Again, really proud of the team this year, and hopefully they can continue to build on it next year.
Keeler Effect's gonna
keep
rolling.
Real. I know we had signing day today. It looks like they had a pretty good day just based off the social media. So hopefully the momentum continues in the offseason. They have a good offseason, and they'll be back next year. I know next year we got Penn State on the schedule. I won't be here as a student, but
you'll be there.
You can bet your bottom dollar I'll be loud and proud at that game. And Penn State's struggling, by the way. I'm not a hater.
Do they have a coach yet?
They do not have a coach. ... Love the Owls in that game, by the way. Just a little tidbit there. Anyway, let's move to fencing. If you guys remember, we had Sammy on the podcast a couple weeks back. We got to learn a lot about fencing in that episode. And, we can apply that knowledge to what we're going to talk about now, which is they went up to have their first, I guess, real competition of their season at Boston College, where they went 3-1, defeating Wellesley College 2 times, not once but twice. You understand that?
We might need to ask Sammy
I'm
about.
Have to inquire about that.
Yeah, some information on that.
Because I double and triple check that, and they beat them twice.
You said they played them in the morning, right? And then they played them in the afternoon.
It was either the afternoon or the next day. But anyway,
beat them. Yeah.
They also beat Wheaton College, but they did lose against Boston College. After talking to some of the fencers, it seemed like they were pretty happy with the weekend overall, and they're back this upcoming weekend. They travel to Connecticut for the Sacred Heart Invitational, which I'm guessing they'll take on multiple teams again. It's fair to assume.
Hopefully Sacred Heart.
That tournament's in Fairfield, Connecticut, so we'll talk Temple fencing next week, but their season gets rolling. They're competing all the time, so be on the lookout for that. And then our last sport to talk about is one that we haven't spoken about on the podcast yet, and that's women's track and field, who is getting ready to start their indoor season. They have a meet this upcoming weekend at Penn, who recently built an indoor track last year, beautiful facility. They have their first competition over there at another local school that we are not too fond of. I don't think we're fond of any local school, to be fair.
Temple is definitely top Philly-ranked school.
And apparently we're not fond of the New Jersey schools either.
True.
Princeton.
Yeah, it's Temple or nothing for us, obviously.
I mean,
Go Owls.
you've made multiple Alabama comments on this podcast, but we don't need to get into that.
That ties into, like, family loyalty, like.
And they're in the playoff, right? So you must be happy. I think the
I'm knocking
rankings
on
came
wood.
out yesterday.
Yeah, but you never know.
I
Let's
know
move on.
they're
Let's
good.
not get too stressed. Now I'm gonna start.
Let's get into what everyone who clicked on this episode, they didn't click on this episode to hear our recap, to hear us talk. They're more concerned with
sometimes they do want to hear us talk.
Sometimes, but for this episode, they were interested in our special guest, and again, my teammate and roommate, Francesco Candiani.
I'm very surprised that you got this last name because you usually struggle with last names.
I struggle with last names, but this one is near and dear to my heart, so I couldn't butcher it on this episode.
Is he saying it right?
No, and even after a year and a half, I still struggle. But
wait, how do you pronounce it?
Francesco Candiani.
That's exactly what I said.
Not for me.
One more time.
Francesco Candiani.
All right.
I'm not gonna
And
try.
You guys
No,
can
I'm
think
just gonna
with
keep
it.
hating on how you
Yeah.
pronounce and never try
Exactly.
myself.
Just
It's-
that.
Yeah, it's news. It's actually a year and a half in. It's news to me that I don't pronounce the name right. So,
That's hilarious.
anyway, Francesco, thanks for hopping on the podcast with us.
Thank you for inviting me here.
And we got a lot to talk about, so let's dive right into it. For those of you who don't know, Francesco is a sophomore at Temple, but coming from Europe, I don't know if it's the school system. I don't know how it's possible, but he's actually the same age as me. Well, not anymore because I just turned 22 recently.
Yeah, his birthday was Monday,
Yeah,
everyone,
but
so that's why our recording is all messed up. He
No,
had to take an off
that
day.
is no
Big 22nd
there's
birthday.
No
Happy
correlation. It's not why at all. But anyway, my point is, he's a bit older, which is fine.
More wise.
He's got a little wisdom beyond his class,
Okay.
Exactly.
and that might, play a part in why he's now the president of Global Owls. Before we get to that, let's talk about your journey to Temple because we've talked to a couple international student athletes. We had Tamsin on, and the recruiting journey is completely different. And oftentimes, through my discussions off the podcast, I've noticed that
There's some
international, there is some trends. International recruits really have no idea what's in store for them when they come
Yeah.
here.
I think Lucas said that. He was like, I didn't even see the campus.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything.
So
an
talk to
adventure.
us about your recruiting journey here, how you got familiar with the school and kind of how you came about.
Was long. The recruiting journey was very long. Started like in 2022 when I discovered NCAA. I was like, I like this word, to be honest. I want to join.
You were,
this
how did you, was it on YouTube?
YouTube. I
Yeah,
watched
figured.
one race on YouTube. I was like, oh yeah, I want to come here.
You were sold immediately.
Yeah, immediately sold my soul to NCAA. Now I regret it. I'm joking. And from there I decided to email, I think 1,000 coach, something like that.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
I got 0 answer back. That was like pretty bad. So I decided to start college there. I say, okay, no, was a dream, happened. It's okay. Then happened that I won national championship back in Italy.
Oh,
And,
wow. Tell us about that. What did you win the national championship?
I
with?
won the half marathon national championship.
Half marathon national championship.
And
13.1 miles.
yes,
right.
13.1.
Well, sorry, we're gonna get into that
No,
later.
that's
Metric
good.
system?
13.1
Yeah,
miles.
well, we can do it.
Table
Mine
that.
is perfect.
Okay. Yeah.
Get used
okay.
to it. And from there, I discovered I have more potential to join the NCAA. So I decided to contact an agency and say, guys, can you help me? I wanna go in the States. Help me. So at the end, I got some answer from some college, and one of that was Temple.
Yeah, so
Oh.
I guess when you win a national championship, the coaches, tend to
They
check
start responding.
the inbox becomes a little bit more of a priority for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, honestly, I knew that you started college over there, but I didn't realize that you had tried to come to the NCAA before you started that experience.
Yes.
So after, what was it, a year of college there,
Yeah.
you won the
basically.
national championship. Okay, now you're like, now I think I can get into the NCAA. You email a bunch of coaches through this agency. Temple was one of those schools to get back to you, and that's kind of how you got in front of.
I got in contact with Temple. I was deciding with a couple of colleges. Temple was like one of the option, and then I want to go in another college, but my mom said, "You grew up in the city. you cannot live outside the city. The college was like a college town.
Oh wow! What
Yeah.
do you mind sharing what college that
It was
was?
like Mont Saint Mary, something like that.
Oh, Mount St. Mary.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. I think you made the right decision.
Yeah.
No shade.
Wait, no, right decision by far.
Yeah.
And when I decided that I will go to Philly, I didn't do like as every recruit here, come here in the college, do
A visit.
a walk a visit here on campus. I just watch a YouTube video. I say, I like the campus. I mean, coach. I emailed the coach. I was like, yeah, I'm in. From there, I signed with Temple.
Wow.
You met him on the phone or on Zoom or?
Fun, yeah. We were
Wow.
FaceTiming a
Wow.
couple of times.
Wow.
It's a big commitment.
I feel like we owe a lot to YouTube because I feel
Yeah.
like that was a common denominator between figuring out the race, looking at the campus. Sure. Shout out to YouTube.
I want to see the
Yeah.
YouTube video that like
Yeah.
persuaded him to come here.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
They
I'm
didn't show
curious.
anything.
I guess it's a testament to Temple's like digital team,
Yeah.
whoever's putting out those
they make
those
it look good.
videos.
Yeah, was looking good from the video.
And I know I mentioned Francesco is my teammate, and I guess I'm assuming a lot of people already know this, but we're both on the cross country team. So I actually was the person that picked up Francesco from the airport when he first got here.
Wow.
So he arrived.
This was last year, right?
This was last
Yeah.
year. He
Okay.
arrived with another one of our teammates who also happens to be from Italy. And I picked them both up, and I've obviously already had known the other teammate. His name is Mattia, but I was meeting Francesco for the first time, and it's so funny because looking back, like he was not saying anything in the car. And now I
Yeah.
realize because I don't think his English, I don't think he either was a lack. I mean, he'll tell you. I don't know if it was confidence. I don't know if he didn't understand what I was saying. But I didn't hear much from Francesco. I thought he was going to be quiet. And then as soon as I started to get to know him, he's anything but quiet. So
Yeah.
what was that like when you first got here,
When I first got
driving
here,
through the city and getting to your apartment?
I mean,
at
it was
Temple?
fun. For sure, was the confidence and the practice of speaking English. That was the major thing. I was watching YouTube video. I can listen to you, understand what you're saying, but like I never had the occasion to really speak.
Right.
And when it was the time to answer to like your question, and I was like, okay, how do I do this? And the only thing I remember from that trip was your question about what team you support here in the States. And I said, the only team I support is the Boston Red Sox. And you like turn red. You're like, no.
Yeah.
You're here, you change.
Yeah, we drove. I think it was driving by the Philly Stadium. He said he
Yes.
supports the Red Sox. Like I don't know if that's gonna work.
How
here,
did you
but-
pick the Red Sox? That's so random.
I've been to Boston twice.
Okay.
And one at a time it was 2013. There was the terrorist attack. I got really involved with Boston. I love Boston. Like,
I hope your answer is different now, though. Is it?
yeah, no, go Phillies now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Go
there you
Birds.
go.
There you go. That's what a year in Philly can do to someone.
Change here.
So we'll set the scene. So you arrived at Temple. You were a freshman, even though you were 20 years old, which is fine. I mean, we've seen more unique in the NCAA these days. I've seen 28-year-old freshmen.
Exactly.
So there's no shade about the age at all. But obviously, freshman year, you started to get involved with Global Owls. Do you want to talk a little bit about what Global Owls is, what kind of drew you to that, and obviously now you're in the role as president, but just start with how you kind of got involved with Global Owls and what kind of got you interested with it.
Global House is it's a fantastic organization because a lot of international have homesickness and they miss home, they miss Europe or Asia, Africa, where they come from. And so Global House provide like a space where these students athletes can connect, meet with other guys and girls that have the same struggle, maybe some things in common, like me and Mattia, as you say, like we're both Italian, we live each other 45 minutes apart. So it's like having a person that's close to you when you're on the other side of the world for this adventure. And I got in contact with this organization with Mattia. They say, no, come to this Global House, and in amazing European style, arrived to the meeting 15 minutes late without caring about the time. And they asked me, why you're late? I was like, I mean, you say 7 p.m. I'm here 7:15.
Classic Europeans, you know.
Yeah, I take my time. Let's say at 7, I was like, oh, it's time to go. At 7, they were already like starting doing stuff.
So, yeah, so as a freshman, you got involved through Mattia. You know, that makes sense and everything. And obviously this year, I honestly didn't even realize, I feel like until you got promoted to president, that you were interested in being the president. So what kind of sparked that interest was the former president no longer here, like at the school? Or like, how did you really like come about that role? Because, you know, I remember when I got put in position as SAC president, it was kind of random. Like it was kind of like by chance, really. And you know, that was an experience that was definitely interesting for me, and I'm ultimately grateful for how it happened. But how did you kind of get into that role?
It's similar to you, for what I understand. It was pretty random. I was studying Resnick, and Prince Moody comes to me and is like, you're the new name for be president of Global House. You're interested about? I was like, yeah, sure, go ahead. Okay, that's my number. Let's start working from here, because at the time the e-board disappeared. Basically, like there was no e-board. Everybody graduates.
A lot of people graduate. That's what I figured. Yeah.
Everybody graduate, and a couple of guys decided they need more time to study. That's fair enough. And so I was like, yeah, sure. Let's start this thing. I knew absolutely zero about how to construct an e-board, organize the meeting. I was like completely from new. So I was like, wow, that's a challenge, but why not?
Yeah, that's the right attitude to have. I feel like, especially with these things, it's good. Prince Moody, who you alluded to, helps run our student development here at Temple, and he's been a really great help for me. And he works with all the student athlete clubs, and obviously you're going to be working hand in hand with him as well. But I guess it's kind of being in a unique position, being the president as a sophomore, assuming that you want to stay in the role. What are some things you're looking to do with the club over the next couple of years that you're going to be here? How would you like to see the club grow, and kind of what are you bringing to the table that might be new and exciting for the audience to hear?
For sure, like one thing I want to do for Global House is improving the advertisement, because a lot of international athletes they don't know even like the Global House exists, and that's like a big thing. Like you cannot build a big community if you don't have a lot of people coming and joining. That it's amazing, like what they done already. Like we meet every month, we do like some like special nights and stuff, but we need for sure improve the meetings, probably the number of people and like more idea, because I know that I have to improve a lot on being the president, organizing meetings.
Right, and obviously that comes with a lot of responsibility. And I think, you know, one thing that's nice about these clubs is you have a board. And obviously, Amelia serves as my vice president. We have a board of about 8 people, which is really helpful to kind of work with your team to kind of get things done. So I'm sure, I know you've got a board now.
Yeah.
So I'm sure, you know, everyone on that team will be able to help you. I guess last thing, since you've gotten to Temple, since you've started studying in the States, is there an element of your experience that has surprised you that you weren't necessarily expecting when you first got interested in the NCAA? I'm guessing a lot of it had to do with you wanted to run in this really competitive atmosphere. There was a lot of, you know, high level athletes here. Yeah. Once you actually got here, what was something that took you by storm, or maybe something that you adjusted to or weren't necessarily aware of?
For sure, the attention to the school, that is completely right. But when I came here, I was like, no, I want to just run. I thought, as they said outside, like in Europe about the USA, that you don't study that much. They say like here in the States, if you want to study, don't go in the States. And actually it's the opposite. Like here, like there are a lot of talents in the class, and even the attention to the classroom, it's very high, and I like that.
Yeah, I think definitely as a student athlete, the support you get from the Resnick staff, the resources available, that definitely gives you the framework. But at the end of the day, you still have to be the one to go out there and study and carry the weight that way. But yeah, no, I think that's a common answer. I hear a lot of people that, I guess it's funny, like people coming from Europe, they're not as surprised by the campus and the environment because they weren't, there was no expectation. But what I've noticed is our domestic athletes are always very quick to say that, oh, I really enjoy the campus, I really enjoy the area, where I think that's because coming to a school like Temple, there's a lot of stereotypes and a lot of things that are said about the school. Mm-hmm. I think once you actually get here, you have a better appreciation for what the university has to offer. So I'm not surprised by your answer, but I think it's interesting to hear the different
For sure. I
perspectives.
feel like you say like city school and people all, like immediately have a thought in their head. So it's kind of interesting to hear that perspective for sure.
100%. And I think, honestly, if you look at what's going on campus right now, we've talked a lot about new infrastructure with Paley Hall. They've just started major construction on the new Klein School.
Oh, yeah.
The whole sidewalk's closed.
Ugh.
I think
That's
could
a
be
major thing that could have been our foul this
Could have
week, but
been
we're
a
going to mix
foul.
it up.
But I'll just say I think it's a great reminder for our alumni, for our families that are listening.
Mm-hmm.
It's really great to come back to campus and to see the transformation. We actually had a SAC meeting last night, and we had someone from the new Essential Needs Hub come and speak to us.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just a lot of really exciting things going on campus.
Huge upgrades that
A
are
lot of upgrades.
major positives.
And I think I'm really excited for a couple of years when I get to come back and see the new
Mhm.
Klein School, to see the Essential Needs Hub, to see some of the things that Temple's rolling out. It's a
Mhm.
pretty exciting time, and
For sure.
I think I just encourage people to get back to campus when they can.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's pivot to your favorite segment of the podcast.
We didn't come up with a fun name this week.
I did.
Oh, you did? Oh, you just didn't
That's
let
it.
me know.
That's it.
Okay.
Well, it's not like the alliteration.
Oh, the
Temple.
tease. What was that, last week, 2 weeks ago? There was a
It
lot
I
of
think
tease.
it was like 2 weeks in a row. I think I called this Temple Takes Euro Edition.
Ooh.
Is that not fun enough?
It gets the job done, you
I-
know?
Yeah.
I think it conveys what we're going to talk about, which is,
Exactly.
I guess,
Euros?
that could be another. What's better, the euro or the dollar?
We could,
I
yeah.
want to go in finance.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, so do you want to give your explanation of what Temple Takes is for our audience?
Yeah, I hope everyone knows if you've been listening. But if this is your first episode, thank you for joining us.
Welcome.
Yeah, and if you don't know, Temple Takes is just a segment that we do where we basically pick a topic, as David alluded to this week is Europe edition, and we rate it, overrated, underrated, and sometimes we get really passionate and there's an argument. I know the green bean casserole and glazed carrots last week started a little bit of a debate.
A big debate.
But
and dressing or stuffing.
oh yes.
Depending on what area of the country you're from.
Oh, and I have some definitions to share with you that I got from my family on Thanksgiving.
Great. I'm looking forward to those.
But yeah, so we're just gonna go over some things that are
Yeah,
European-ish.
if you're a loyal listener, this segment of Temple Takes will sound very similar to our edition with Tamsin.
Yeah.
Who was
That one was a
British.
lot of food related,
There's
though.
a lot of food. This is, I guess,
We try to go broader with this one.
yeah, I don't know if it's underrated, overrated. It's more like Euro versus
Different things we
American.
do.
Yeah, so I guess you could mix in some overrated, underrated, but let's kick it off. You want to start us off here with our first
This is
topic?
just like always the classic debate. Everyone that I've like talked to that's gone to Europe, they come back and they're like, "This is what I miss," and it's kind of like, I think it's kind of crazy pull, but ice and water, I think this is definitely one that you can go overrated, underrated.
Yeah. Do you want me, I'll start.
Sure.
I will say ice and water is so underrated. Like,
What?
and I didn't realize it until I went to Europe, but when they just come around with that sad tap water and it's just like your cup, they also serve it in like the smallest cups.
I know
Like,
it's like you get one sip.
It's like
at
a
time.
shot. Like,
Yeah, here in the state, everything is massive.
yeah,
Big.
yeah, but I could appreciate a little more than a shot of water every time.
Hydration is important.
And there's no ice. It kills
We're
me.
healthy in Europe. We hydrate.
It's like
hydrate
you're getting
ourselves.
lukewarm water over a steak, and it's like, God, can I just like have some ice or something? No, they don't have it. They don't even. You can ask. They don't have it. It's not even like they don't want to. They don't have it.
I mean, where did you go?
So no, I don't think they have it. So it's so underrated. I fill my cup up with ice to the very top. I'm probably on the more extreme end of ice, but yeah, underrated for me.
You want to go?
For me, it's extremely overrated.
He was like rolling his eyes when David was
Yeah,
talking.
it's like I was
basically.
like-
Should have seen the looks I was getting.
Yeah. No, it's overrated because like you already have cold water. Why you need ice too? Like
I would argue
Is
the
that-
water is not cold.
it's
over there.
cold. If you take it from the fridge, it's cold. It's easy. Like you put it in the fridge, it's done. You don't need the extra cold. If I want extra cold, I go Polo North. I take the ice. I don't need like
Okay. So you're it's overrated.
So even here, you don't like ice in the water?
No, every time I put it, it's like, thank you. Like, maybe in the summer after a run, I say, I want something very refreshing.
Mhm.
Yes. Normally, like right now in December, people, I want ice in the water.
Even now, like
You're
when it's cold
freezing.
out, I want cold water.
Why?
I don't know,
It just tastes better. I'm gonna go underrated as well. I guess it's just the American and David and I, but I love cold water. I love in any drink, honestly. I love like even if I have a can of like Diet Coke, I'm filling up a glass with ice and I'm pouring it in, even if it came out of the refrigerator. That's my cold take, I guess.
Yeah,
Cold.
I will say this on the topic of ice. There are a couple drinks that do not need ice. Like, I'm thinking of
What are you gonna say? Hot tea?
Like juices. Like, you ever go out
I
to
agree with
breakfast?
that,
You ever go out
actually.
to breakfast and they put like
Yeah.
orange juice and ice?
Because you don't want it to melt.
That
and,
really
like,
bothers me. Because then the
dilute
orange
it.
juice gets
It's watery.
watered down.
Yeah.
And then it's like I'm drinking water orange juice. And it's like one regular orange juice.
Wait, since you went on a side tangent, I have one as well. Why is it like bad to carry water bottles around in Europe?
I think it's just a trend. Like, it's picking up this thing. I see more people, more and more that they bring their Stali around. But
Yeah.
one thing that nobody's is gonna carry around is the coffee. Here I see everybody going to Starbucks, work for the entire day with this Starbucks in his hand.
That's
So-
not a thing over there?
No, we drink it. We don't work with it.
So you drink it like within like 30 minutes. You're not carrying it around for
10
hours.
minutes. I stay at the bar. I talk with my guy, and I drink my coffee, and it's over. I go to job.
There you go. Okay.
Okay, good to
Well,
know.
I always hear like that's the number one like thing, like, oh, that guy's a tourist because they have a water bottle, and I'm like,
Yeah.
hydration is important, Europeans.
Because we have fountains. That's the thing. We have fountains all over the place, not just in buildings. That's the thing I noticed different.
Yeah,
with
but you also have
water.
to pay for bathrooms, so there's like so many pros and cons we can get into. But
a
let's
lot
go
of
into the
thoughts.
next one.
This one can't be debated. I don't know if it's air conditioning. I mean, I don't even know why it's on here because it shouldn't even be a take. It's just like common sense.
It's like a necessity, is it
So I
not?
feel like I could not live without air conditioning.
Yeah, This is
Is
easy.
it underrated? I feel like it's a necessity. It can't be underrated, overrated. It's
yeah.
I think it's good, but it's overused here in the States.
Oh, boy.
That's my take. It's
Overused.
Yeah, because in August, I'm walking to class. I go inside Fox. I don't want to freeze during lesson because I'm with my t-shirt, with my shorts outside. It's hot. I go in class for an hour. I'm freezing. I don't understand this air conditioning during the summer that have to be all the way down.
I've just never heard anyone complain about air conditioning in the heat of the summer.
Yeah.
No, but it's too much difference. That's the thing. I noticed.
But then you adjust. It's
Is it that or sweating in class? I take being a little cold.
No,
Yeah,
didn't
I would
see
take that
sweat in
too.
I say like a little bit like warmer. Not. You don't have to put 60. I don't want to like outside is 80, inside is 60.
60 is crazy. I've heard some roommates. They're like, yeah, we keep our house at 62. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's a
I mean,
freezer.
I need
Yeah,
it. I need it. I
refrigerator.
mean, he can tell you. I need it cold in the apartment.
But what is cold to you?
Like I can't sleep if it's above 70. Like I need it to be like 68. It's like perfect.
So your Pico bill is definitely insane.
Yeah.
No, we put like in the night is a 67. In the day is like 62.
We turn it
63.
off during the day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we save money.
All right. I'm also agreeing with David. Air conditioning it's essential. It's not overrated, underrated. It's just you need it.
We're agreeing a lot today already.
Yeah, just the
I
Americans.
think
Yeah.
that
Just-
break. I think the week off. Like we're coming back. We're more agreeable.
Yeah, we're on a better headspace.
Yeah, exactly. This next one you get me fired up about though. Tip culture, tipping.
Oh.
I don't know. Like, it's not a thing. I think it's already factored into the price in Europe, if I'm not mistaken.
No, like you don't like the tip. It's very rare. Like when the waiters do like a pretty good job, it's fun. You give him a tip and not 20%, 25%. You give him like $5, $10.
Okay.
And it's very rare when you got like
See, I
over
thought
that.
over there sometimes it's like gratuity. It's already included in the bill.
No, not really. Like in Italy, we have this thing that basically you pay for eating inside. There's like $2-3, but
Okay,
Work is a
so
tip,
it's
but
just not. It's
not,
just not a thing over there then.
no, tip is rare.
Do the waitresses get paid better though? That would be my only like.
Yeah, I think so. They get paid like minimum wage. They got some, maybe a little bit more. The tip, it's rare. When I came here and I went to Saxby's and I have to tip it for just moving a muffin, I was like,
Yeah,
no.
that's the problem.
That's my-
See, I'm gonna get into that right now.
That's
Tip
what
tip culture
gets
is
me
an
in.
issue. I have an issue. It's like you go out to eat. You get like I would tip the waiter 20%.
If you're sitting at a table, yeah,
Exactly.
like inside a
That's
restaurant,
that's
for
fair.
sure.
I think that's fair.
100%.
I mean, it's his
fair.
job.
Yeah. Okay. what I will not get on the same page of is when you order a Saxby's muffin, whatever, and that little screen, they always
flip it
the
around in
iPad,
your face.
and then they're like, try not to look, but
Staring at
they're
you.
like side, like you like,
Can you just select a button for me? You're like,
and you
no.
somehow know whatever you pick, they're gonna know what you put.
Yeah, because doesn't it say it right on the screen?
Yes, they
like they
move it.
flip it back and they're like, ooh.
So
I'm
it's
gonna
just
spit
like
in this
it puts you in
coffee.
that terrible position. And it's like, yeah, do you deserve a tip for moving the muffin, like Francesco said? Like, probably not. But then you don't tip,
For
and they
sure.
kind of give you that side eye, and you just feel like a terrible person. Tip culture is a problem, and I'm gonna come up with a solution to it. I just haven't figured it out yet.
I'm agreeing with David. I definitely think for these like almost like self-serve places, like or things that require like minimal effort, like being a waitress, that is like that's a job.
That's work. Like
Yeah.
Francesco's not. You're not getting a tip from Francesco. You're my waitress or waiter. You're gonna get a tip from me.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And also, I think you have to factor in like some of these waiters get paid like $2 an hour. Like they need
What?
the tips. Yeah.
Damn.
I think I just saw like Texas Roadhouse, like they pay their waiters $2.13 an hour or something. I'm like, that's insane.
That's a big difference.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
We pay our waiters.
I think the conclusion we've come to is there are certain times where tipping is highly encouraged and important, and there are other times where don't even flip the screen to me. Like,
Yeah.
just keep it on your side.
You and I definitely agree on that, but I don't think we convinced him yet.
No, like, you convince me. Like, sometimes I give the tip at the restaurant, but, like, I give it with, really, I have to give you, like, I have to be a little bit forced, because I'm
Oh,
not
wow.
used to.
But you
Maybe.
still do it.
I do it, yeah. Saxby's,
Okay.
absolutely not. Even staring them in the eyes and say no.
Yeah, I
It's
can't
also a
get that.
college campus, like to
Yeah.
an extent they know what they're getting into.
yeah, I think it's fair. Okay, the next one, I'm curious to hear the opinions
Okay.
that roll off the table here because
We didn't talk about this at all before. We
no,
just
but this
threw
is
it
a
on the
really good
board.
one. Stadium atmosphere, and what we mean is if you go to a European sporting event, let's just say soccer or football, whatever you want to call it, versus our
Football.
edition of that, which I think the closest thing is like a football game here,
Yeah,
American football.
Yes.
I'd say
The
definitely
best
like NFL.
atmosphere, I think you're going to say, is either a college football environment, an NFL game,
For sure.
or if you were at a really like a Duke basketball game.
Yeah, or like NBA finals,
But-
like anything huge.
Well, you can't I never have gone to a Duke basketball game, so that can't be my stadium atmosphere. You
Okay.
have to say like from your experience. Like Francesco, I know you've been to an Eagles game.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've been to European soccer matches. I've been fortunate enough to go to both. The stadium atmosphere, I'll let someone else take the floor on what they think first because my opinion.
Okay, I think I'm least passionate, so I'll go first. I have not experienced it in Europe, so I don't have much to go off in that. It looks insane, though. I just have never experienced it, so I don't know if we're going overrated, underrated. I think, like, I love when I go to, like, I went to the Dolphins-Eagles game, like, 2 years ago. That was, like, the craziest, probably, atmosphere I've ever seen. So that's all I have to say on it. I like the atmosphere of football games. I love football games also.
Have you been to an Alabama game?
Like when I was like a kid, a
Okay.
wee baby.
You seen Dixieland or no?
I probably like didn't. I maybe not. I might have not even known how to speak back then. I'm kidding.
Okay.
I was probably like 3 or 4.
That's one of my like bucket list items is to go to a game at Bryant Denny.
Okay. Yeah.
Ooh, that's nice.
All right, Amelia is not
I'm indifferent, but
indifferent.
it's just because I don't have the passion.
Let's
behind
move to
it. I'm sorry.
Francesco, who certainly had the experience of both.
Yeah, I've been to a soccer match in Europe, in Italy especially. I've been to the Eagles, Sixer, Flyers, Avalanche, Phillies. I watch everything here. I've been lucky to watch everything. And I will say that both European atmosphere and USA, it's great. But there is like the big difference is like in Europe, it's almost you're going to war. Like, is it serious?
You don't
Is it-
think the Dolphins Eagles
No,
game?
like, it's crazy, but it's soft compared to that. Because
Wow. Then I'm scared of
if
whatever
you go,
happens in
if you
Europe.
go in Europe, for example, the last one was Rome against Inter in Milan, and the match wasn't even like a derby, like a rivalry, like Alabama, LSU, or Auburn, something like that.
Great poll. Wow.
Yeah, he
And-
knows he knows ball.
He knows ball.
Yeah,
Dave.
start
Ball.
following the American football, and I would say that when you go there in Italy, Europe in general, it's like that both the teams like they want to kill each other. Like they stay on the the opposite side of the stadium. They don't like the police is there. They wanna like separate these guys. Most of them are
I've
crazy.
seen some of those clips. They
Yeah.
do get crazy.
It's crazy. Like I don't like it that much. Like I like going like to the side, chanting against the other team. Like most of these guys don't even watch the match. They say, turn around and just chant with the other guys and say, let's kill the other
That's
ones.
crazy.
That is outrageous.
I
But
thought the
it's
Eagles
fun.
fans yelling at like toddlers was
yeah,
bad, but that
throwing snowballs at Santa, whatever.
yeah.
So this is good. I think where I sit is this. Like, I've been to an English Premier League match. What I noticed, the biggest difference is the fans over there are way more like coordinated in their
Oh yes.
spectating/chanting efforts.
What game did you go to?
I went to like a Chelsea match. I've been to a Tottenham match. I love
They're a big team, so for sure they're
I
organized.
love like Premier League soccer, and the fans will start chanting and they like sing songs together.
Oh yeah.
And so I think that's really cool because they're like the whole stadium can hear. It's like a very coordinated.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas here it's just like you get like I feel like the fans here are more into the actual game and like what's going on
Yes.
in terms of like the play.
Rather
Whereas
than like
there
culture.
they're like chanting, and I think it's a hard thing to compare.
You cannot.
I will
compare,
say
you know.
I prefer, if I'm going to like enjoy the match, I actually prefer like the European style because I think it's more interesting as a fan to sit there and kind of observe how they interact. Because the fans, there's like a away section. So like think about if you go to the Dolphins-Eagles game, like all the Dolphins fans sit together.
Yeah.
So I think it's cool that they have like the back and forth there. Whereas here, like I was at the Eagles game a couple days ago against the Bears, and like there's a Bears fan with around a bunch of Eagles fans. They're fighting. It's a mess. It's like it's funny to an extent, but it's like, all right, guys, can you grow up? You're an adult.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's more enjoyable. I noticed that you can enjoy more the game.
Yeah.
When you watch the Eagles, it's you can follow the plays. You can be more relaxed. You pay way more at the stadium. That's the thing.
Yeah.
For a cheesesteak, $20. I was like, no.
Yeah, we don't even need to get into that.
Yeah, we're not getting into cost.
But I will say, like, I think some of these college games, like I was watching Texas A&M, I was watching
Nice.
Alabama, Auburn, like
rivalry.
those stadiums look pretty electric. So maybe I head
It's
to one of
on.
those, and my opinion changes. But
Yeah.
let's move into our final one, the metric system, which is commonly used by everyone except for the United States. It feels like.
I think that's true, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
aren't we the only
I think
country?
It's mostly true.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Apart from I think miles in the UK. Yeah.
That's just
Who
dumb of
wants
us.
who wants to start with the metric system?
I
This
mean,
is
yeah, you can
another
go.
one I don't have like anything to compare to, but honestly, it does feel pretty stupid that we would be the only one to like have a different thing. Like, but we also do use the metric system. Like, so it's kind of dumb. It's dumb to me. I'm going dumb or smart, I guess. I'm not going overrated, underrated.
I like that, like quick pivot. I think the metric system is probably smart, but for me it's dumb because
Okay.
like I just think like miles and feet just make more sense to me. But I would see why if I grew up on kilometers and meters, why that would make more sense. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, but don't
Yeah.
you still call your races like a 5K?
Yeah.
Like you're not saying like, oh, I'm gonna go run 3 point.
No,
blah, blah, blah.
I get that, but like for me, if it's like, oh, how far away is it? Oh, it's 3 miles away.
Well, yeah.
I don't say, oh, it's 5K away.
Yeah.
What do you say? What say you?
I would say that the metric system is easier to use for me, but because I grew up in Europe, as you grew up in the States, and you use the mile, the feet, the inch. But one thing that I don't understand, that I don't like about the USA system, is like when you do the height of a person and you go like 5'7" and 3/4. What is 3/4? 3/4 of what? Like, give me a precise number. Like,
Yeah,
that's the only
whereas
thing
you
that.
can just be like, I'm 183 centimeters or whatever.
Yeah, I go 180.
But you could still go like, I'm kidding.
like you go
half a
precise.
I
centimeter.
actually disagree with that. Like, to me, when someone says like, oh, I'm 5'5", okay, I know I could like figure out exactly how tall that is.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I think this is kind of a bad Temple take because it's just like you're always gonna pick whichever one you're used to.
Yeah.
I can't imagine being like, oh, I'm 180
Well,
centimeters.
you disagreed
that
with the
means nothing.
football one, so
Yeah, no, I'm saying like this like metric system
yeah.
is we're probably all a little biased.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
now you use way more miles, so like.
Yeah, but you like miles.
Yeah, I
even
like
when
miles.
you train. Yeah. So I think maybe
Nice.
it's not. Whatever. All right. Well, that concludes
that edition of Temple Takes. Little
Euro edition.
Euro edition.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun.
Also, just a little preview. Next week, I think we're going to be talking some
Holidays?
holiday.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Should be a fun one. Let's move to my favorite segment, Owl or Foul. And I think, Owl this week is pretty self-explanatory. I know last time we recorded, we said we're looking forward to break.
Wait, I didn't say my line. Why are you cutting my line?
You're right.
People haven't heard it for a week. They're probably like, what is this?
They're probably curious, like.
You said it's your favorite, but what is owl or foul, David?
Owl or foul. Excuse me. Owl
Damn.
is something that is soaring upwards.
Shout out to SOAR, the American Conference mascot, and the only conference with a mascot.
Yeah, the only conference. And
We have still not fact-checked this, but I saw it on Instagram, so it's real.
Yeah, I agree. And we would have seen it by now. We would have seen it.
Yeah, someone would have told us on the Instagram for sure.
Yeah, so all you guys DMing us, like, just thank you so much. A foul would be something that is, needs to be improved. It's not okay.
For sure.
We got some opinions going to be rolling out. So I think the owl for this week would be, it's the last week of class.
Yeah, I'm excited.
It's been a long but fast semester. Mm-hmm. We're coming to the end, and I feel like the last week of class, the classroom gets a little bit more full. People are a little bit, a little pep in their step, perhaps.
I would say that's questionable because
Really?
I feel like also once it gets colder, people do not go to class.
I don't know. This week, my classes have seemed more like people have been. The attendance has been better.
Like reviewing for
coming
finals
off
and
break.
stuff.
I feel like people are like ready to get done with the semester.
Yeah.
There's a certain energy in the last week I appreciate.
That's true.
So I think it's good. What do you think? Last week of class, how you feeling?
I feel I don't want to do finals.
Yeah.
I feel that I would like to chill in the chair, listen to a professor. But tomorrow I have the first final, and I was like, damn.
Yeah, there you go. So I think the easy foul. We could come on here and be like, oh, finals,
Especially when they're cumulative over the whole semester. Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
We could do that, but we're not.
Yeah, we go deeper than that.
We're gonna challenge our audience.
Mm-hmm. We're trying to make Temple better. That's the foul.
This is the foul. I mean, we can say,
that needs improvement.
Guys, finals aren't going away, all right, anytime soon at least. But something that needs to improve and something that I've noticed is our student attendance at basketball games. And this is something that, I get football. You got to go down to South Philly. Mm-hmm. You can make that excuse. We could argue till we're blue in the face on, our opinions on that. Whatever. But the basketball games couldn't be more easy to get into. I mean, you really just got to show up. Mm-hmm. You just tap your phone, your student ID, like you get in every other building.
Yeah, you used to have to buy the ticket.
You don't even have to deal with Ticketmaster or go to the front, whatever. You just go right in. Tap, get right in. But for some reason, we're having trouble getting students to sit in their seats. Mm-hmm. So I'm making a call to action. Let's do a better job of supporting our basketball teams. Not only do they put a lot of effort, but they both have great home records this year. We just talked about the women's.
They deserve the support.
Women's are 3-0 at home, and men's are 3-1. So there's no reason why we shouldn't be making a better effort. I know we go away for break, but when we come back in the spring, conference play starts.
We got to bring the energy.
And not just for the men, but for the women as well. Mm-hmm. So that's our foul. Let's get more students to show up to basketball games. You guys got any other thoughts on that?
I think you said it perfectly.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Well, that'll conclude this episode of the Owl Pod. Thank you for tuning in if you made it this far. Thank you to Francesco for coming on.
Thank you.
We're looking forward to watching Global Owls thrive. We'll probably be working together at some point with SAC and all of that. And until next time, we'll see you guys next week for another episode. Go Owls.
Go Owls.
Go Owls.